welcome you to Messiah Revelation Ministry. We are an end-time ministry. We focus on key events and key nations, and we are in 2021, and we see we have heard so far a lot of skirmishes going on between Russia and Ukraine, and some news channels are predicting that these tensions, the tension between Russia and Ukraine, could even lead to World War III. And it's not, I'm not surprised, because in the end of days, there will be wars and rumors of wars. And I'm not surprised that a lot of people on the YouTube and social media, and even the mainstream media, they are watching events in Russia and Ukraine, and they are predicting World War III. And some people say there will be war in weeks, if not in months. I'm not predicting anything, but when you see these geopolitical events going on, particularly involving Russia and Ukraine, you know that we are actually living in the time of wars and rumors of wars. And Russia has deployed thousands of troops along their border of Ukraine, and Russia is supporting separatists in Ukraine, and a lot of tension has emerged in Russia, particularly along their border with Ukraine. And the Biden administration also has threatened to deploy warships, and Putin is also threatening that Russia can go nuclear. And when we are talking about nuclear, and then you see that the tension between Russia and Ukraine, and the potential involvement of Nato and the United States in that conflict raised the specter of nuclear confrontation, unprecedented in the world since the Cold War and since the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis. We pray that the tension will slow down, but I remind you that I had a vision, and the vision I had was a vision where Russia had 30 minutes to invade the United States. And so when, after all these visions, I'm seeing tensions between Russia and Ukraine that could lead to a potential war and possibly a world war, it tells me that we are approaching the end of days. There will be wars and rumors of wars, and the tension between Russia and Ukraine is not a surprise at all. It is an alert, it's a warning for us that we are not living in normal times. Russia has developed supersonic missiles that can hit the United States, and no wonder people are scared that there's a potential for a world war that could destroy this world. So use the Russia the crisis, or the Ukraine crisis, the tension between Russia and Ukraine, as a lesson that we are not living in normal times, and anything can happen anytime. And I'm not predicting there will be World War III. All that I'm saying is that they are all signs of the end of days, wars and rumors of wars, and we need to be concerned because Russia is a major player in the end of days. Russia will be one of the nations that will be involved in the Ezekiel War. When you see any possibility that the US and Nato will intervene in the Russia-Ukraine crisis, then you also see the possibility of major tension in the international system. And then you must also realize that Russia currently is one of the nations that potentially can destroy the United States. And we must understand that if the U.S., I believe, is the Babylon of our time, then any tension between Russia and United States tells us that we are approaching the end of the United States, because I believe that Russia and United States will go to war, will have confrontation, and I believe that the United States will be destroyed. I would not be surprised if there's a global conflict where Russia attacks the United States. Definitely that will be consistent with the vision that I had, where in that vision Russia was going to attack the United States in 30 minutes. It will also be consistent with a vision that I saw where somebody that I believe was Putin, somebody with KGB experience. Putin has KGB experience. In that vision, I saw someone with KGB experience transporting missiles and giving missiles to other nations. So Russia and Putin have major roles to play in the end times. And that's why the current tension between Russia and Ukraine, with the potential of intervention by Nato or United States, poses a risk of a major confrontation, and provides a lesson for us that we are living in the last days. And for that matter, I encourage you to accept the Lord during this time, because we are not living in normal times. We are living in apocalyptic times. Thank you for this message.